Today's topic, Adele. Apparently she's divorcing.
She made hundreds of millions of dollars, and she's got to give half of her stuff
to her ex-husband.
So this was from the Flare.com.
It smells like a receipt.
So by Catherine Singh. Adele's rumored divorce settlement is not equality at work.
There you go. Oh, all right. Go on. Keep on going.
This isn't what women meant when they demanded gender parity. In a global pandemic, not only are people spending more time on the garbage fire that is Twitter, but some of their opinions are becoming increasingly more problematic.
Ooh, that word, problematic. Go on, brother. We're listening to you.
So our girl Adele has earned some loot, and it would be nice if she could keep it, or at least not be forced to give more than half of it to her ex-husband. But TBH, to be honest, that's how you know it's a good article.
Oh, in capital letters?
Regardless of the details of Adele's divorce settlements, the whole most egregious part of this whole debacle has been the online response. Some men online are pretty stoked at the prospect of Adele handing $140 million to Konecki, her ex-husband, tweeting that Konecki deserves a large amount of money. And even more specifically, a whole lot of them are increasingly perplexed, arguing that isn't this equality when it comes to divorce settlements? What women wanted? And sorry, gents, but the answer is no.
Why?
And for several reasons.
You know who the richest woman in the world is?
No.
Jeff Bezos' ex. And you know how she got that rich? Divorced him. He had to give billions to her. And then what happened? Nobody said nothing to that? Yeah, girl power. Who runs the world? Girls. Who run the girls? Amazon. You didn't say nothing about that. It just proves again what we were saying earlier.
What?
Well, the fact that you really want equality when it benefits you. SJW, they want equality when it benefits them. That's the equality thing. You didn't say nothing about that when it was the opposite. I don't know if I'm really happy because my girlfriend wins more money than me. So if I end it now, cha-ching! I don't know if that's what it is. It put a weird smile in my face. Put a smile on your face. Make the world a better place. I don't know why. Okay.
Firstly, a lot of people online are making comparisons between Adele's situation and that of Amazon's CEO, Jeff Bezos. Sounds like you.
Hey, they talking about me, brother.
Whose 2019 divorce from his wife, Mackenzie Bezos, made tabloid headlines. In finalizing their divorce, the former Miss Bezos was transferred 19.7 million shares of Amazon.com.
How many?
Value at 38.3 billion, and one that places Mackenzie as a 22nd on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, a ranking of the world's 500 richest people. While this is a hefty amount, and at least on the surface makes comparisons to Adele's situation seem more valid, it's important to note that Bezos still retains at a 12% stake worth 114.8 billion. 38 billion is a drop in the bucket for Bezos.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But perhaps what sets Adele and Bezos' situation most apart is that Mackenzie, who was married to Jeff Bezos for more than 25 years, played an early and integral role in Amazon's growth as the company's first employee, someone who's helped draft the company's initial business plan. I do think it's interesting that all of a sudden, now this self-proclaimed Woketivist wants to downplay Konecki's contribution to the marriage, saying, well, unlike Jeff Bezos' wife, he didn't contribute. Whenever I've heard people justify the divorce settlements that men have to pay out to their wives, and people say, well, these women didn't contribute to those men's success, people say, well, women contribute in ways that you're not seeing. At home, taking care of the family, emotional support. But all of a sudden, when it's a man in the same position as those women, his contribution is non-existent. These are your arguments. You used invisible contributions to decide that women did deserve 50% of what a man made despite never contributing. And now all of a sudden, when it's a man, behind every great woman is an idiot who writes articles for the Flare. What are you talking about? Behind every great woman, there's more women, because apparently men can't be behind you unless we hitting it. Plus, if we're talking about equality, what about the fact that even in Canada, women still earn 75 cents for every dollar earned by a man? the numbers are even more ghastly for indigenous women, women of color. And listen, first off, why are you moving away from us talking about a white woman named Adele and trying to bring up indigenous and all this other stuff? That has nothing to do with this. You just pulled a switcheroo, okay? We was talking about wolves, and you like, but the whales are dying. No. Let's stick to wolves.
Let's stick to wolves.
Okay.
Let's talk about wolves.
Let's talk about wolves.
Okay.
The big wolf. Is she still big?
I know she's not big no more.
She lost a lot of weight, right?
Well,
And she dropped the body positivity too, right?
Ooh.
Congratulations.
No, the body positivity dropped her. No, they did. They really did. They're mad about the fact that
She's not about that movement and she lost weight? Yeah.
Well, you know, I like thick Adele, but it is what it is. Keep on going.
It's unfair. Women have historically been the financial weaker party, a position that stems from long ingrained gender roles that have women working in the home and out of the workforce for extended periods of time. Why does Adele have to compensate? We're not saying she has to compensate. We're saying that she has to do and suffer what men have to suffer. That's equality.
Equality.
Right? If I do the same job as you, you should get paid the same amount as me. If I get divorced and I have to pay settlement, you should have to pay the same settlement if you're in the same circumstances as me, irrespective of what my gender is.
Thank you. Equality.
Seems counterproductive. Also, to be QH, to be quite honest,
Oh, wow!
I don't know if I should keep reading this. Also, to
They
be
really
quite
wrote
honest,
TBQH in capital letters.
don't you think women have already had to put up with enough as an entire gender without Adele having to fork over 2/3 of her hard-earned money?
Pause. So what does that mean? That as a black woman, because I've put up with a lot of I don't have to. No, that's not how it works. If I would make more money with my wife, she's taking half. No, that's not how any of this works.
I like that. She hasn't even brought up how men suffer in divorce settlements. All she's just saying ahead is basically like, women suffer, so we shouldn't have to suffer here. How do you fix anything like that?
Men in court has been suffering, so stop.
I would agree with you if you would have said, listen, divorce settlements are unfair and there's no reason that Adele should have to pay this. And I would agree with you. Nobody should have to pay these absurd divorce settlements that people are having to pay. But your argument's not that. Your argument's not that divorce settlements are unfair. You're saying that it's unfair to a woman who makes a lot more money has to pay the exact same as a man. That's ridiculous. It's a dumb argument. She feels like it's unfair in this situation. You do realize that most of the time this goes in women's favor. And women propose 80% of all divorces. So how am I supposed to feel bad for this lady when they almost always win in these divorce settlements?
And this time was just fair.
That's
that
it.
was actually just fair. Here's the thing. When you want to have equality, it's either two things. Either you see something that's unfair, like the court system, that we change the whole thing for everybody and we make it equal for everybody.
That's right.
Or equality would be that if it's unfair to you, you're in that same position, well, it's unfair to you too. And to everybody that's in that position, and that's unfair. What I mean by that is that if we want to be equal, we have to be like, you know what? Instead of just men having to pay half, let's just really reevaluate how things are being redistributed. Or if you're in that position that you're paying more, you just pay more. Which is what's happening. That's equality.
I think this is good. You know,
It's great.
I think this is great because
Thank you.
as Adele goes through this and may have some hardships and may be upset by how much she has to pay, maybe she will be a spokesperson for a lot of the issues that men have been suffering for a long time. I think it's before ladies could only sympathize with some of their struggles, but now Adele's going to have the ability to empathize with some of her struggles because she's going to deal with it first.
It ain't got nothing to do against Adele.
No.
None.
No.
It's in the position that she's in.
Doesn't matter what if you're making $60K as a woman and your husband's making $20K and y'all get divorced, you should pay more. If you make $100 million, right, and your husband makes $10 an hour, okay, you should pay more. I don't care what gender. It's not about what's between your legs. Justice should be blind.
It's been like that, and you haven't said a word about that.
And the fact is, it's not been blind. And so in one instance where we see a little bit of parity, why are you upset when men were finally like, yeah, it's great?
It just shows you how you really feel about this.
Yeah. So instead of, mocking these what you call problematic opinions, maybe you could celebrate men for fighting for the exact thing that you claim you've always wanted, which is gender parity.
It's not even the fact that whether it's a man or a woman, that's not what we want.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Right.
We just really want the real equality.
She wants special treatment,
That's
women have been making 75 cents on the dollar. So if women were making, $1.25 for every dollar a man makes, right? We've suffered. Yeah, we deserve this. You don't want parity. Again, this is another one of those instances where it's clear that some people don't want equality. They want special privileges. That's it. That's all it comes down to. It's not that deep of a story. All right, well, listen, that's it for today's video. Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Do you believe this is equality? And if not, you can just let us know why it's not equality. We want to hear your thoughts. Comments below.
It's been like that. Then again, it just goes back to the subject that we were talking about, where equality, when you really want equality. Why am I happy about?
Yeah.
Because that's equality. When men go into this thing called marriage, which is basically, I bet you half my shit, we're going to stay together, and they lose that bet, they have to give half their stuff, no matter what. Because, you know, historically speaking, men has been making more money than women. Man are the provider, gender role, and all of that. And now, she has to give half her stuff because she was the breadwinner between both of them. Well, they were both winning bread, but she was winning more bread. Equates to the same thing.
Right.
So basically that's what it is. She's been getting millions. She has to give half her stuff. And people are mad. People are mad because, oh, it's unjust. It's not fair. When it's been like that. For men, that's real equality. The one that wins the more bread needs to give half their shit. Is that the rule? And nobody said nothing about that? No? Social justice warriors? Nobody? Crickets? Huh? Not hearing nothing? Okay, so that's the rule. That's the general rule. So she's the breadwinner. She wins more bread. She gives half her shit. I thought that was the rule. I thought that was the rule. But now you mad. Because it's not fair. That's way too much.